Good Wednesday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about all my cars and trucks and SUVs and the dogs, motorcycles. Wow, another just incredibly beautiful morning here in this Northern Virginia, Maryland, DC area. I mean, wow, it'd be beautiful. You'd think it was springtime. Hey, good morning there for everybody that watches my channel. Appreciate you watching me and participating and commenting. I really do enjoy that. And wow, what a freaking evening. What an evening. My gosh, I'm getting a late start. Yesterday was a very long day for me, just working. Oh my gosh. Cutting this, oh man, I just get so sick of cutting this grass. I mean, this is hours upon hours of just cutting grass, not even including weed whacking. And for those watching my channel, they do see how I have some nice lawn mowers and tractors, but that wasn't always the way for me. I mean, sincerely, for so many years, I had like one tractor, a pull-behind lawnmower, and this could take up to 8 hours of cutting grass. I mean, somebody like, yeah, right, okay. 10 acres of grass, pull-behind lawnmower deck on your tractor and have to turn around and, just so complicated. So yesterday, I've got the two zero-turn John Deere lawnmowers, and I've got another nice tractor back here, which we're going to walk and look at that here in a second. But, oh my gosh, filling up the machines with fuel, which that's a project. Until you own this equipment, and you got to refuel them. If you don't have a refueling tank, I mean, what are you going to get? The 5-gallon jugs of diesel and gasoline? And sit there and fill up your tractor, your lawnmower. Yeah, until you do that stuff, you just don't get it. So just aggravating. So yesterday evening, I want to get the dogs in here because the dogs be running amok, and it'll be a fiasco because it's such a beautiful time of year that people will be walking the street to enjoy the beautiful time of year. Come on, folks, get in. Hey, you, get in there. Just Jesus Christ. And I thought the dog left me a surprise here for a minute. That Kiefer dog, he's tricky. That Kiefer boy, yeah, you better watch where you're walking. Yeah, you better watch. So yesterday, cutting grass, and so what happens as we're walking, cutting the grass, after I fill up the lawnmowers, I was down at the Harley dealer, and the guy's like, hey, what's that fuel tank on the back of your truck for? I'm like, well, it's to fill up my lawnmowers and my dirt bikes and my Gator, and that's just a really nice option there. Well, I've got another lawnmower tractor back here, which I bought years ago. It's got a little backhoe on it. I mean, I really like the John Deere equipment, even though sometimes I think they design the things like stupid for some reason, but whatever. So anyways, my two zero-turn lawnmowers, kid comes over to me with a look on her face of like she's scared or something happened. Boy, has anybody ever had that? Your kid or your wife or somebody, they come like running up to you and they have this like scared look on them, and you're kind of like, what the hell just happened? And you're kind of like, oh no, something dramatic just happened. So my kid comes up on the lawnmower, and I'm like, what happened now? Well, the good old lawnmower belt. See that belt right there? That's a belt. That thing broke. I mean, not bad, considering that lawnmower is now like 5 years, 6 years. I don't even know. I just got lawnmowers at least 5, 6 years old. So, hey, that F-250 truck, I just love this truck. This truck is just such a fun thing. So anyway, so now I make the decision on her to ride my nice zero-turn diesel lawnmower. And as soon as she gets on that, starts riding around on it. Wow, this thing's nice, Dad. I'm like, yeah, it's a Dad's lawnmower. So now I'm cutting over here to start up this thing, which I haven't driven in ages. It's got a belly mower on it, and it won't start. So now I got to jump start this damn thing. Like, all right. So I finagled that with my zero-turn lawnmower. Or excuse me. Yeah, I finagled with the broken down zero-turn lawnmower. So then I'm cutting and cutting and cutting. I'm way over in the field over there after I get done doing all the backside of the property back here, and the damn thing starts trying to turn off. And I'm like, oh no, the battery, there's a battery issue or something. And no, that isn't what's going on. The damn thing's out of fuel. So now now my daughter, I'm waving my daughter over, so I'm sitting there now. And the thing, you run a diesel lawnmower or a diesel engine out of fuel. Yeah, if you're not careful, you got to bleed the damn frickin' valve in the diesel injection system, get the damn thing up, back up. So then he gets my fuel can. I've got a diesel fuel can, my trailer, and she brings that back. And so then I got to get the tractor back here. Oh my gosh, it's just turned. I could talk all morning long, but the whole point is, what a frickin' project! It's crazy how people live over the hill from me. The grass stopped growing, but my property, just over this one little mountain here, the grass has never stopped growing. And it's just, oh my gosh, what a, yeah. Oh, the adventures. So yeah, what are we talking about today? I thought to myself today, it'd be a great conversation. Scared. Have we had the scared? Have we had the scared conversation? I don't think we have. And I thought, wow, in the car sector of things being scared, I mean, who hasn't been scared per se of maybe driving something? I mean, number one thing is, if anybody's a motorcycle enthusiast, you have many friends and family. The first thing to come out of their mouth is, I'm scared of motorcycles. Yeah, I mean, that's a huge thing. You'll hear a person say, hey, it's me. Wow, hey, I left for a second, I'm back. Hey, look at this battery here. What? Whole other adventure of me buying a battery yesterday. I met me at the battery shop. That's dangerous. How long was I there with that guy with the Indian Challenger? But here's the thing. People are scared of motorcycles because you come off a motorcycle, you're going to die. I mean, that's pretty much the thought process. If you own a motorcycle and you're in a crash, you're probably going to die. So a lot of people are very scared of riding on these motorcycles. I mean, even my wife, for the most part, does not want to be in the back of these two old motorcycles. Now, she's more open to the freewheel. Look at my dog. That Kiefer dog, he just wants to eat everything. He totally obliterated a softball. That softball, it's obliterated. Yeah, what do you have for dinner last night, right? Yeah, wow. So here's the Indian Challenger. And what's interesting here is this Indian Challenger that I own. I mean, I pretty much own this motorcycle. So if I really want an RG3 Harley-Davidson trike, I right now have a guy offering me $37,000 for this motorcycle. I'm not lying to you. I'm not even really wanting to sell it. I got a guy offering $37,000. It's off of the Marketplace Facebook. I haven't responded. And I can sell this, and I can just basically go and buy the RG3 outright and be done with it. But I just don't think it's worth it. I personally think, now this bike's just my shop. It's like, no, this is just too nice a motorcycle. The brains of the world is own that, sell the debt. Sell the debt, get rid of the debt. I just about basically own the Indians. What's interesting is I have more equity and bottom line, borderline paid off more on the Indians than the Harleys and the Hondas. So anyways, here's the story about the battery. So this is now my second battery replacement for my Indian motorcycles. This one here, 2022. You've probably watched my video. Battery went bad on it. Took forever for my selling Indian dealer to get Polaris to finally cave and let me have one for free. This time around, I didn't feel like waiting a week or 2 weeks. I was like, screw it. I'm just going to go buy a new one. So I went to the battery warehouse here locally where I live. And the guy gave me a lot of information. That's a USA, Y-U-A-S-A, apparently built battery. The most common battery in most dirt bikes and motorcycles here in the country, per se. They've been around forever. So I bought that nice battery. And because the Polaris battery that I have, the gentleman claims that they've seen a lot of failures with those Polaris batteries. So I just figured, I'll get that right there. So I can get my Indian Challenger back on the road, because one of my subscribers swears up and down that this has a backlit switches. And the downside is I can't get it on to prove him right or wrong. And he's adamant about how the Elite Series is like the Harley, and it has the backlit switches. This Elite Series, or I should say the Pursuit, this does not have. I just don't, who knows? I don't know. Just so much damn technology So much information. And all right, let's go. So anyways, here's the thing I was thinking to myself this morning. The scare, we're all, I'm sure, has a scare of something. Some people are scared to get on a plane. Some people are scared to get on a boat, to be on the water. As I just said, many people are very scared of being on a motorcycle. But here's another thing I think of myself in the car sector, that are scared by these electric vehicles. And I walk back here all the time on these vehicles just sit here and decay in front of us. And so here's the Mustang Mach-E, where they've got the biggest inventory of this product ever. I've just sitting in dealer lots. And I guess it's because people are scared to buy them. And it could be, that's kind of broad, but I think truly they're scared to buy these electric vehicles. Well, the biggest thing that my wife has a scare about, the biggest thing she has a scare about this vehicle is the range. She feels that she's going to get stuck in the side of the road. So she has the range, factor, scare factor. She even has a little bit of the vehicle catch on fire scare factor. I've had many people, when I was really talking about this Ford F-150 Lightning a lot and had it in my garage charging a lot, I had many people reach out and comments to my channel that would be like, they would be scared to put this in their garage in their house because they feel like this would catch on fire and burn the house down. We've heard some of those stories. So I think on the EV vehicle, I think people have the scare factor of the possibility of the vehicle being a fire hazard. They have the scare factor of running out of power and not being able to get to where they want to go because they can't recharge it. They probably have the scare factor of buying it and then, like me, you're stuck with it. It takes an incredible dive in value, and you're, for the most part, in the dealers, I honestly think that if I went to a car dealership, they would borderline mumble under their breath, we don't want it. We don't want it. We don't want the car. If you give it to us, where we can borderline give it away. So I think even the car dealerships are scared of this EV product line. I mean, I know they are. It's just common sense of business, where you've got people that run these dealerships that say these things have no money in them. I mean, the margins are so tight that there's nothing there. I'm sure a sales guy is scared to take that call from a guy who wants to buy an EV vehicle and spends the whole day with them and barely makes a dime off of it. I don't know. All right, let's get the show going up here. So yeah, the RG3, ain't nothing sitting here. I don't think you're going to see anything sitting here anytime soon. I just don't think that's going to play out because of the finances. I could be wrong. Kind of disappointed. Patriot Harley, who I really spent a lot of time with on Friday, trying to get that deal to go down with me trading my 2021 Road Glide over there. So I'm all in for letting go of that 2021 Road Glide for the trike. But there's just conditions on the loan that they couldn't overcome. Come on, pups. It's the scare factor. The financing company, I guess, in some ways is scared of my exposure, and they're just not wanting to do things, and it just isn't working out. Or is it, the dog, the Kiefer dog, you think the in here, all you got to do is look at the everything that's shredded to heck. The dog, puppy dog, it wants to just eat everything. Hopefully not me. Hear those stories, right? The violent dogs. Yeah, so dead in the water on that because the financing companies are scared of my debts. I mean, that's what it is, because they look at a credit score. Let's get my camera's working here. Let's get the morning going. And so yeah, so for me, the challenge is that the bankers see all my craziness, which so many people weigh on my channel and get critical of my craziness. And I say, right, I don't disagree. That's why I have a channel. I was reluctant for so many years. I was scared to start a YouTube channel for the exposure of who I am. I mean, truly. I mean, you may think I'm just saying these things to say things. No, I was very scared in so many aspects of so many years where I had people tell me to start my own YouTube channel just to show all my craziness and silliness of me buying these damn cars and trucks and motorcycles all the time. And I just thought that it would be a way to share with others, who I am. And I just thought that, but it's just so much exposure. And it just shows, don't we all have that scare part of us that we don't want everybody to know everything about us? I mean, come on. I mean, so many people put a false impression of who they really are. I mean, good Lord. Anymore, do the politicians have that? I don't think so. I mean, anymore, these politicians, should we be scared of what Matt Gaetz just accomplished of getting Kevin McCarthy removed from Speaker of the House? I mean, should we be scared about that maneuver? Or should we be jumping up and down that we got rid of this guy that's a Democrat in disguise? I mean, you can look at it in so many different angles, but for the true conservative guy, the true guy that feels like this government is beyond out of control, we all should be very scared for what it's doing more than ever. I guess in many ways, Matt Gaetz did accomplish something, but we don't know yet because the story's not over yet. And what's incredible, like I was just talking about, when you become a public figure, there's a scare for you as an individual because people try to dig up dirt on you. People will try to undermine you, and that's huge. And we're witnessing with Donald Trump. This guy, why is the left so scared of Donald Trump? I mean, what is going on? Why is Donald Trump such a threat to society? I mean, is Donald Trump been out killing people? I mean, sincerely, has Donald Trump done some violent acts? And then I'll hear the person say, well, he shorted people on money. He's two-faced. You'll hear all these stories. But I think, why is the Democratic Party so fixated on this guy? Should they be more fixated on maybe Vladimir Putin? Shouldn't they be more fixated on XI, whatever, of China? I mean, should we be more scared of those? Should we be scared of the North Korea's now relationship with Russia? I mean, you can go through the list, okay, but we'll kind of go back to the car thing before we get on into the political side of it. But for us individuals that go out and for me, finishing up my scare factor of me, so I resisted for so many years to really make a YouTube channel because I just didn't want the public knowledge of really who I am. I just felt like, for what? And, and for the record, there is no money. My YouTube channel makes very small. I mean, there's no money. There really is not. I mean, if I'm in this on a daily basis because you think I'm making this money, and that was the driving factor, then it's over. There's nothing there. I just enjoy my conversations and sharing my antics. And for the most part, I've been fortunate to have good comments and people don't really per se attack me, because it's like, what did I do to you? I'm not here by any means wanting to have a YouTube channel to belittle others or to make others think that I'm bigger and better than you. That's not who I am. I'm just sharing with you that, hey, I've got challenges in life. Sure, I've been scared of things. So going back into the car automotive, the motorcycle automotive, should the car big three be scared of the UAW? I mean, the UAW, Shawn Fain, in so many ways, is trying to scare the big three that if they don't get their act together, they're not going to have any cars being built anymore. So so for the most part, the UAW is now using the scare tactics to maneuver their wishes of enriching themselves more to feel like they are being respected more. So apparently Ford has come to the table with a better offer. So apparently, these different companies are, trying as best they can to make things come and make sense, even though you hear about X amount of people being laid off and that. So if you're a manufacturing individual that's part of this UAW conglomerate, are you scared of your future job? And that's a whole other thing that's talked about on a regular basis from the union. They're scared for the future of their job because of this green agenda electric vehicle transition. And when you read these articles of this artificial intelligence overtaking some of the responsibilities of what people can do, and you think about how that turns into robotics, and you think about how already the robotics are already in manufacturing, I mean, it's just a no-brainer. You just have to honestly say to yourself, yeah, I mean, you would think that the jobs are going to be downsized in this transition from ICE to EVH, just because of there's not as many parts and tasks that have to be done to complete a build of an electric vehicle over an ICE vehicle. So, I mean, I don't know how Jim Farley could really say per se that the UAW is really overrating the fear of them, or the scare factor of them having their future jobs. So, I don't know. I'm not the expert, not automotive industry, but we know that the number one thing is it's all about automation. These manufacturers want to be more efficient. And here's the thing, BYD, it's so interesting, whether you realize it or not, build your dream. Warren Buffett is one of the key investors of that Chinese manufacturer, electric vehicle company. That company is now pretty much the number one electric vehicle manufacturer in the world. And what I think to myself is Elon Musk scared of the BYD, because Elon Musk wanted to set up shop in Shanghai, China, to totally get into that China, European, worldwide market more than ever. And here you are, here's a company that's like poof, that's come out of nowhere, build your dream, BYD, that is now overtaking the number one sales of EV sales. So is Elon Musk scared of BYD? And Elon Musk just announced last night on X that now the Y model or the 3 model, I'm not even sure, but apparently they're removing the 4-wheel motor setup to a 2-wheel rear-wheel drive setup. Wonder why they wouldn't do a front-wheel drive, because Elon's making comments that if you put snow tires on the vehicle, it'll go through snow like a all-wheel drive vehicle per se. Who knows? But anyways, Elon is advertising that with the tax credit, it's $32,999. If you get the $7,500 tax credit, it's basically $39,999 in a car. So Elon Musk is really starting to try to give away his cars more than ever. If you look at Elon Musk, what is he doing? Is Elon Musk scared? Is Elon Musk seeing that maybe the consumers aren't jumping over these EV vehicles like he thought they would like they were so many years ago, and pay borderline any price they would just to be so lucky to get a Tesla? When now, I mean, this is factual. He has dropped the price in the last year of these Tesla cars by some models up to like 36% discounts. I mean, it's huge. You're talking about some of these cars, they're $36,000 less than they were a year ago. So is Elon Musk scared that he's going to lose the market on the Tesla platform and product? I mean, we all know that so many years ago, Elon Musk was born scared he's going to go bankrupt because they were just right there at that edge of that Tesla kind of taken off, where they just had so much debt that they were borderline not going to be able to make it. Like Rivian. Rivian right now apparently loses like $17,000 per vehicle. Rivian just announced that they now have a 400 plus mile range Rivian battery truck. But going back to BYD, here's what many don't know, is Donald Trump scared the Chinese. I mean, if you really followed Donald Trump back in his tenure as the president, he was the first president in modern times to go after China and to go after other countries for the unfair international trade. He was really feeling like this country was being shortchanged by the other countries bringing their goods to our country, but yet we can't sell our goods in their country of unfair tariffs. So Donald Trump really did put the hammer down on the likes of like China, Mexico, and other manufacturing companies that would ship products here to us domestically. And he really did hammer down China. I mean, I just think it's incredible how that China was really getting pissed off at Donald Trump, because he was starting to really have an impact on the tariffs on China and trying to bring back the irony is it was really Donald Trump that started the movement of trying to bring back the manufacturing back to this country, even though there's so many critics back when Trump was in power that were saying there's no way this infrastructure, this country will support the manufacturing that's overseas. Yes, I mean, does anybody remember these conversations? Now you've got this guy Joe Biden pounding his fist and giving out billions of dollars to all these companies to come domestic side through our taxpayers' monies and subsidies. And now, poof, all these people that want to sit behind their computer and do their jobs are going to want to now be on assembly lines and be in more of a blue-collar type of job, manufacturing, and work for cheap in so many ways to compete in the world markets that you're going to compete against. It's incredible that Donald Trump was mocked and made fun of, that his views of bringing back America, make America great again, the MAGA, was all about bringing stateside more in-house of our capabilities to build our own stuff. But he was made fun of by the left all day long, that you're not going to find these type of people in our country to do these type of jobs because it's borderline the abuse of labor laws to be able to manufacture things here in our country. And that's what people don't understand. And let me finish with BYD. The BYD isn't in our own backyard because of Donald Trump's 25% tariff on any imported China car. That's a fact. And Joe Biden, for the record, I wonder why he's kept it in place, right? Why has Joe Biden kept in place Donald Trump's 25% tariff on China to bring a car to this country? Well, it's because Joe Biden wants to accomplish us manufacturing our own vehicles and the whole manufacturing process of the batteries to the car, to the semiconductors, to the solar panels, to all the green agenda things here stateside. And so China, if we didn't have this 25% tariff on BYD, oh my gosh, for Ford, General Motors, Tesla, Stellantis, it would borderline be over. There'd be no way UAW would even be getting any traction whatsoever if the Chinese were able to start selling their electric vehicles in our country. It would be radical. So it would be giveaway cars. And it would just totally destroy the whole domestic side of manufacturing capabilities to be able to afford people to work and do this stuff and make stuff that the consumers. I mean, come on. We all witnessed, everybody ran to China Depot, China Lowe's, China Costco, China Walmart. Are you kidding me? I was my own lawn and garden equipment dealership so many years ago, and I witnessed all these people that were out there going to buy the cheap crap. I tried to sell nice equipment and things, and no, it didn't happen. People wanted to go to the Home Depot, Lowe's, Costco, and buy the junk stuff they would buy and just throw away and buy again another day. I mean, that's my whole point. If you don't think that people are going to buy China crap, I mean, sincerely, that the cars come available for $20,000 have an electric vehicle, and in so many ways it can do just about what the Mach-E can do, and you can pay half for it. They're going to go to that. So back to the whole infrastructure of our country. The IRA is Joe Biden's so-called the thing that's going to save America in so many aspects. I think people should be scared for the end result of what may or may not play out that somebody think is going to be a great ending. I think personally that it's going to be a very challenging time for the transition of us to compete globally in manufacturing more than ever because of what do you think the other countries are going to do? Do you really think that these other countries are just going to lay down and not compete with us? I mean, wow. So that's why I think the big three is scared of this UAW's demanding of these very high, expensive packages, is because they know that, boy, could you imagine if China was able to finagle, if somebody here comes into being in power, and I mean, but here's the thing, China's already trying to set up shop with their cattle, their contemporary amperage technology laboratory electric batteries with Ford in Michigan. It's such a disrespect to our country that we're already now going to let China right off of the tax incentives to partner up with Ford. Ford has actually put that on hold. I think they're just hearing a lot of people that are not happy with what's going on. And just, I mean, and rightfully so, because we're empowering China now. And that's the thing. Taiwan, semi-manufacturing company, they're trying to set up shop here. I mean, it's like Joe Biden's inviting all of the international companies to can become stateside to then you just know where it all goes as time progresses, become more dominant powers in our countries to be. And yeah, do you think that, wow, I mean, it gets kind of heavy and deep. So for us, I mean, here's another thing. I talked about it yesterday. I think that Ford and other electric car companies are starting to be a little bit more cautious, a little bit more scared, and especially Ford, Jim Farley, because he probably sees that, hey, this everybody going out and buying these electric vehicles, it's not happening because people are scared. I truly believe, and rightfully so. I mean, I would have to honestly say to anybody now, to feel confident buying an electric vehicle this time, I wouldn't recommend it. You know why? Because I think that in the end, Ford and these other guys are going to just start having to give these things away. So you're just going to take a brutal beating on buying this vehicle. And so, yeah, I mean, I think when they start giving away, is it worth getting it? It's even debatable at that point. And what drives me crazy is there's not one conversation of how so many people now work from home, how there's so much less per se, the 8 to 5 typical American way of people going to work has so changed. And there's just nothing talked about on how that has had a carbon footprint, huge impact to the country. Not a peep about the pandemic on how we had probably 10 years of clean carbon footprint in that 2-year plus year of just totally everything was shut down and the transportation sector just disappeared. Nothing talked about that to give credit to us making more advancement on that. Now, here's what's interesting. I've talked about it before. The scare factor more than ever is the capability of the cobalt, the nickel, the magnesium, the lithium. There's the iron, copper. I mean, there's so many materials that are needed to make these electric vehicles. And now the scare factor is that even Elon Musk could be the first to raise his hand that he doesn't see this world having the materials, the raw materials to really complete the task that somebody want to complete. And at the same time, here's a good story of the Ring of Fire, a huge reservation, Indian reservation, north of Ontario, Canada. And apparently you have the peat beds, the peat moss. This is millions and millions of years of a carbon footprint from Mother Nature that underneath this Ring of Fire, this massive wetlands, peat moss lands that has under it just trillions of dollars, potentially trillions, definitely billions of dollars of all the said materials that I just mentioned that lie beneath it to help continue to build the batteries in electric vehicles. But in order to go in and not disturb this, they're going to have to go underground, and there's just no road infrastructure to get in and out to do this. It's a very big thing happening right now in Canada. And there's a lot of people objecting to it. There's other people who want it. But it will just change the whole natural, beautiful scenery, the forest, everything around it will become borderline commercialized if they decide to move forward and to undermine this incredible natural carbon footprint from Mother Nature. And there's many people that are very angry and disturbed that. And the concern is if they go on top of the ground and they try to resource these minerals, it's going to emit a carbon footprint that's going to do, in some ways, a lot of damage to the environment that in some ways they're not accomplishing by making electric vehicles. It kind of gets a little deeper than that. So up there in Canada, there's the scare factor that these mining operations are going to start populating. And there's already been like 2,500 like 22,000 mining permit applications. So this thing is so massive that so many people want to get involved in it. And there's just already the scare of these Canadians that feel like the areas around them that are just so beautiful are going to be ruined, destroyed, all to enrich mankind for the continued EV will be the answer to. And that's the thing we have to think about here. Going back to the political side and kind of trying to wrap this up, and the green agenda. What is the green agenda all about? It's about scaring you to believe if you don't transition to a different lifestyle, to different transportation, they're scaring you that you're going to be part of the harm to Mother Nature Earth and a disservice to Mother Nature Earth's and the well-being of mankind, humanity of the future. So the whole green agenda is a total scare tactic, more than ever in our lifetime, that you should be ashamed of yourself if you don't have more of an attitude that you got to take the green agenda, focus point, and that you need to get out of your ICE vehicle, you need to get rid of your gas stove, you need to change out the way you heat and cool your home, you need to change your eating habits, you may need to cut down on your luxury vacation, your ship cruises, your plane rides. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But it's all about scaring you to believe that if we don't change the way we live today, then the future of mankind and Mother Nature Earth is going to be not livable. That's basically the message you hear, that the temperatures are going to rise, the oceans are going to swallow up the islands, and then the storms. I mean, there's so many things that the scientists are saying and predicting to scare you to follow the procedures and protocols. And that's what I think to myself. It's incredible on how, where are we today? You just witnessed yesterday, Matt Gaetz removed Kevin McCarthy because there's certain individuals that feel very strongly that he didn't live up to his promises to be more conservative and to address the serious challenges that we are facing right now with this sitting administration that just seems to have an open checkbook bigger than more than ever. It seems like it. I mean, I'm sure that other, presidents have had the same thing, but it just seems like the agendas that are being catered to of the open checkbook just don't seem to make sense with the illegal immigration and the Ukraine war and, the border control and the well-being of our own country. So, but you think to yourself, where did this all start? When did it happen? And I think to myself, when Donald Trump was in office, that this seems like the media was scaring people that this man, Donald Trump, was a very bad person. And he was very bad for this country. And he had to be removed at any cost because he was doing such harmful things to others. I mean, it's just incredible. If we could all go back and watch the videos and do the rewind of what we witnessed and a transition from one sitting president to this sitting president, and it was all the scare. It was all the fear factor. Where'd Joe Rogan come from? The fear factor, right? I'm not a Joe Rogan guy. I mean, here's Tucker Carlson. I don't really watch the news. I just don't do it because I don't want to get brainwashed into the way I talk. And that's a danger. You start watching all these other people that talk all the time, then you just ride off of their what they talk about. So I try to avoid that. I don't sit down and watch TV. I don't watch Tucker Carlson. I don't watch Gutfield. I don't watch MSNBC. I don't watch CNN. I don't watch Fox News. I don't watch this stuff because I don't want to get caught up into their rhetoric, and then I just kind of I'm just saying the same thing they said. But for Tucker Carlson, he's calling out the Democratic Party like never seen on the accusations of Trump being in New York right now, 91 so-called civil liberty, or whatever. And what he's saying is every one of these things that they're going against Donald Trump, that he raised money based off of overrated values of properties and businesses, Tucker Carlson claims he's paid every person back that he borrowed the money from. So it's like, where's the harm? And I know people say, yeah, but Donald Trump bankrupted the casinos, he did this and that, whatever. But here's the whole point. It seems that during the 2020 year, that the scare factor went through the roof. We had a pandemic with a virus on Donald Trump's watch in his last year in office. That was a huge scare to the world, to our country. So you were scared under Donald Trump. And then came the violence in the streets. We witnessed the George Floyd. Was it George Floyd? We witnessed the rioting. We witnessed BLM. We witnessed what we felt white supremacy. I mean, there's so many things that we witnessed that in that 2020 year, it seems like the biggest dominating thing that we all were feeling was to be scared. And so many felt that the sitting president was the driving reason for you to be scared. And we had to change out the sitting president to a new president. But yet here we are now, going next year, really next year, it'll be 4 years later, 2024, of where we are today. And in so many aspects, I think we should be very scared of where we've gone to where we are. Being that everything has become so much more expensive. We're in a war with Russia. We should be very scared about that, because that's going to open up Pandora's box even more as time goes on. We should be scared of what we're seeing more than ever of our public servants of our country in the education sector are teaching the younger generation. We should be scared that in so many ways the LEO has been disrespected in so many ways that they don't feel they have to do what they used to have to do, because they're scared for their job in so many aspects of having to actually do their job in some ways. In other ways, puts them at risk of them being the problem. And for you as a sitting civilian, a citizen, a community individual, if somebody comes up and attacks you, if you handle that in the wrong way, you may be scared for your life. And not so much scared for your life, you may be scared you're going to be going to jail. I mean, and then you think all these retailers, think about the people who work behind the counter, these retailers, do you think they're scared because people can just walk in and loot the store and walk out, maybe even kill them? I mean, it's just incredible. We're witnessing more than ever that the inner cities are at the highest rate of criminal activity in modern times. We're now witnessing our own congressmen and senators in D.C. getting borderline mugged. We've already witnessed that here just recently. And should we be scared that now we're finding out that Nancy Pelosi was still sitting in the Capitol in a hidden room that maybe had Kevin McCarthy part of? That's now being exposed, that Nancy Pelosi, yesterday by the new sitting interim public speaker, he demanded the removal of Nancy Pelosi still being in the Capitol, even though she's no longer the Speaker of the House. So now there's speculation, was Kevin McCarthy behind the scenes having heavy conversations with Nancy Pelosi? Wow. Was Kevin McCarthy the Democrat in disguise? Wow. It gets deep and heavy. Hey, it's out of time. Very long conversation. I got a lot of work to do. And yeah, so 2024, does the Democratic Party, though, let the scare tactic happen? And the only thing I can kind of figure out is I think the scare tactic will be more about you don't want to let Joe Biden or Democratic political power to be leave office, because the Republican Party, the MAGAs, are the people you should be scared about. I mean, that's where it's all going. It's already happening. So anyways, hey everybody, thanks for watching my channel. Appreciate all the nice comments. I got to go. And yeah, I can talk, can't I? So I hope everybody has a great day. And don't be scared. Fear is only a fear to yourself. Or what's the saying? What was it? Winston Churchill? Or who said it? I can't even remember. It wasn't Winston Churchill. It was a freaking other Wilson or whatever. But anyways, hey everybody, hey, you know the exact comment? Put it in there. I love to see this stuff. Thanks so much for watching. God bless. Stay safe. And what am I doing next? I don't know. I got to go to work.